The impossible happened. A secret operation inside Russian territory, without the defense systems noticing. What you're about to see changes everything about modern warfare. Ukraine destroyed 34% of Russia's strategic bombers, causing millions in damages, and no one saw it coming. Stay with us. What you are about to see contains sensitive footage from the Ukraine-Russia conflict. It is presented strictly for documentary purposes. Ukraine changed the course of the war. Operation Spiderweb, an unprecedented offensive, marked a turning point in the war against Russia. The operation involved the coordinated launch of 117 FPV drones against 5 Russian airbases, including Belaya, Dyagilevo, Ivanovo Severny, Olenya, and Ukrainka. But this is just the beginning. The operation was meticulously planned over 18 months by the Security Service of Ukraine. The drones were clandestinely transported into Russian territory, hidden inside trucks. The vehicles were directed to selected locations near the airbases and parked in farms, forests, and industrial zones, making them imperceptible to Russian intelligence. Ukrainian engineers developed a disguised drone launch system mounted on the backs of cargo trucks. This system consisted of containers disguised as rudimentary wooden cabins, but in reality, they had reinforced structures and battery charging bases for the drones, as well as launch platforms. These containers had removable roofs that, when opened remotely, allowed drones to be launched directly from inside Russia, along with signal shielding systems to prevent early detection by Russian surveillance. The drones used in the operation were adapted commercial models equipped with artificial intelligence that allowed them to follow pre-defined routes and activate their warheads automatically in case of signal loss. This autonomous capability was crucial to the mission's success, especially in environments with electronic interference. Additionally, the use of open-source software such as ArduPilot enabled precise drone navigation without relying on GPS systems, making them less vulnerable to signal jamming. Moreover, there were also drones individually controlled by Ukrainian operators using satellite connections or local mobile networks, which enabled precise coordination of the attacks. But that was nothing compared to what came next. The attacks resulted in the destruction or significant damage to 41 Russian military aircraft, including strategic bombers Tu-95, Tu-160, and Tu-22M3, as well as an A-50 early warning aircraft. It is estimated that approximately 34% of Russian strategic cruise missile launchers stationed at these bases were hit. The Belaya Air Base, located in eastern Siberia, was one of the main targets, marking the first Ukrainian attack on Siberian territory. Satellite images confirmed the destruction of several aircraft at this base. Now, the real story begins. The trucks containing the drones remained parked at the locations pre-selected by Ukrainian intelligence for weeks, where the drones were constantly recharging their batteries and ready, just waiting for the moment to attack. When the authorization to start Operation Spiderweb was given by President Volodymyr Zelensky and his National Security and Defense Council, encrypted signals were remotely sent. Thus, the container lids opened and the drone launches began. With the strategic positioning of the trucks near the attack areas, about 3.2 kilometers from the targets, there was no rapid response from the Russian air defense systems, so the drones reached the targets without any interference. The drone operators guided the unmanned vehicles live, meaning with precision, to the predetermined targets such as aircraft, radars, and ammunition depots. Available information indicates that the drones used carried high explosive warheads or shaped charges, specifically designed to pierce aircraft fuselages or ignite fuel depots. Some models detonated immediately upon impact, while others were equipped with delayed fuses, allowing them to penetrate their targets before exploding, maximizing internal damage. Thought you'd seen it all? Operation Spiderweb was one of Ukraine's most notable offensives inside Russian territory, as it combined advanced technology with the intelligence of government agencies to strike targets within Russia. Including locations never before hit, such as the Belaya airbase in eastern Siberia. In total, 117 drones were launched in the Ukrainian offensive, targeting sites that would truly harm Russia. Operation Spiderweb had a significant impact on Russia's air capability. As the loss of hard-to-replace aircraft, such as the Tu-95 and Tu-22 M3 bombers, whose production ceased after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, represents a severe blow to Russia's long-range aviation. Military analysts point out that replacing these aircraft could take years or even decades, compromising Russia's operational effectiveness in large-scale actions. It is known so far that about 34% of Russia's strategic bomber fleet was hit. One of the targets pre-selected by Ukrainian intelligence was the nuclear bombers at the Belaya airbase. Another strategic point was the attack on the Ivanovo airbase, northeast of Moscow, and the Dyagilevo airbase, south of the capital. The A-50 airborne early warning and control aircraft, essential for coordinating Russian Air Force missions and for early threat detection, was also hit during the attacks. Among the most valuable targets were the strategic bombers Tu-95 and Tu-22, aircraft widely used by Moscow to launch cruise missiles against targets in Ukrainian territory. The city of Severomorsk, which houses Russia's largest fleet of nuclear submarines, was fatally struck by the drones. This attack represented a significant shift, not only in the course of the conflict, but also in how drones are employed in modern warfare, redefining their role on the battlefield. Ukrainian intelligence stated that the impact of the attack affected more than 40 aircraft, some completely destroyed and others with significant damage, making their restoration impossible. You won't believe it. The drones used by Ukraine in the war come in a variety of types, including fiber optic controlled drones that are immune to electronic warfare interference. However, so far, there is no reliable public evidence that Ukraine used fiber optic controlled drones during Operation Spiderweb. Contrary to some speculation, drones physically connected by fiber optic cables, which would avoid electronic interference, were not deployed on long-range incursions inside Russian territory. This is because such technology has severe limitations in range and mobility, as well as a constant risk of cable breakage. What is confirmed, based on military information and intelligence reports, is the use of FPV, first-person view, drones specially adapted to resist Russian electronic warfare attempts. These drones feature advanced navigation systems, combining inertial sensors, assisted GPS, and even autonomous flight modes programmed with coordinates, enabling operation even when traditional remote control is blocked. In some cases, these drones carry limited onboard intelligence that allows them to make basic decisions during the mission, increasing their effectiveness even in environments of intense electronic interference. This combination of technologies made drones a fundamental tool for the success of Operation Spiderweb. In the operation that shook the structure of Russian strategic aviation, two advanced types of drones played crucial roles. The first were anti-jamming drones, specially designed to resist blocking and electronic interference attempts, a common Russian tactic to neutralize unmanned aerial vehicles. These FPV drones use modified navigation systems that integrate internal inertial sensors with assisted GPS, allowing operation even under total loss of remote signal. Some models have pre-programmed routes, operating autonomously until reaching the target, making them ideal for missions in hostile environments where communication is compromised. The second group involved were drones with onboard intelligence, a technological evolution that brought decisive autonomy to the battlefield. Even when remote control is blocked by enemy electronic warfare, these drones follow established routes and execute tasks based on internal sensors and algorithms. They can avoid obstacles, adjust their trajectory in real time, and even activate their warheads with surgical precision at the most effective moment. This ability to make basic decisions without direct human intervention makes these drones less vulnerable to interference, ensuring mission success even under intense electronic pressure. It is known that Russian forces have used sophisticated electronic interference systems aimed at disrupting the drone's communication with the operator. Interestingly, a technique to bypass Russian systems was created by the Ukrainians. An additional drone acts as a signal booster, strengthening the connection between the main drone and the pilot, ensuring signal stability, and consequently, that the attack is carried out with precision. But this is not the end. Soldiers support HQ with a sticker. It helps the channel grow. Or if you want to get even closer, join the squad as an official member. During the Ukrainian incursions into Russian territory, one key element was not only the boldness of the attacks, but also the fate of the vehicles used. Many of these trucks were programmed for self-destruction after use. Eliminating any possibility of tracking or capture of technology, maps, and equipment by Russian forces. This self-destruction tactic is calculated, silent, and highly effective. Instead of risking that the trucks be recovered or used as proof of direct involvement, Ukrainian forces choose to destroy them remotely or with internal timed mechanisms. It's an approach that combines guerrilla warfare with high technology, reducing logistical footprints and amplifying the psychological impact on the enemy. The message is clear: Ukraine can enter, strike, and vanish, leaving behind only smoke, confusion, and a burning vehicle that will tell no story. Amid the war between Russia and Ukraine, satellite and drone images have revealed an unusual scene: Russian military aircraft covered with old tires. This seemingly improvised strategy has caught the attention of military analysts around the world. In times of war, where Ukrainian FPV drones strike ground targets with surgical precision, tires take on a defensive function. They are used as a physical barrier against explosions and shrapnel, as well as altering the visual and thermal profile of the aircraft, making it harder to detect by aerial sensors or cameras. More than a curiosity, the use of tires highlights a harsh reality of the modern battlefield. Even military superpowers resort to improvised solutions in the face of unpredictable threats. With cheap drones destroying equipment worth millions, survival logic now includes any available material, including recycled rubber. This measure, rudimentary as it may seem, reflects the continuous adaptation of Russian forces in an increasingly technological war, where improvisation has become an essential part of military doctrine. If you're still here, that means you're one of us. Prove it. Drop a like,